So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, this like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a morning edition, first take get up early ass edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. It is your boy Scott Lewis. I am your host, and of course, you can follow me at BarbChairScott on all social media platforms. Man, I don't know who the hell's in the background fighting the background, but we need to work on our muting next time, people. But anyway, welcome to the early edition of the show. Man, we got a packed show for y'all on deck today. Of course, this is not a usual thing that we go on this early. We got Monday Night Football tonight between the Bears and the Vikings at Soldier Field. I will be in the building, holding it down, covering it for Barbershop Network, 79th and Hollis Podcast. I'm not gonna hold you, so I got to be there a little early. So we're doing the show early today, man. You know where to follow the Barber's Chair at Barberchair Co. And all social media platforms. Follow the show at INGHY Show on Twitter and on Instagram. Also follow our partners HB Media and at HB Media TV on Twitter and at HB Media on Instagram. And while you're at it, subscribe to our Patreon. Patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network. If you were watching this on your big smart TV, you can take your phone right up to the QR code and scan it. It'll take you to all the different tiers we've got for the Barber's Chair Patreon. If you listen to this on, podcast version or on your phone, you got the YouTube link. Everything is in the description box, man. So we appreciate y'all. While you're at it, also subscribe to my new YouTube channel if you're not already watching this on the YouTube channel. If you are, I appreciate you being a subscriber. I started this YouTube channel back in June. We have about 353 subscribers right now. Let's try to get that number boosted up to 500. So same thing, scan the QR code, click the link in the description box, man. So yeah, got a pack show on deck, and we're going to bring in my co-host today. Shane said I thought I was tweaking. I'm like, nah, you wasn't tweaking, brother. We here early trying to get y'all through y'all work day, man. But I've got my co-host here, the one and only Courtney Colobro. You can follow her at 1-800-Colobro on all social media platforms. And we've got back from the golfing range, we've got Dante here. You can follow Dante at October Zone Take on all social media platforms. Bang will be joining us soon. He's got some business to take care of. So Courtney be holding it down for us also for this first hour. We're going to break down Bears Vikings in the local hour tonight as well. But Courtney, how you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic. It was a little rainy this weekend, but did get to enjoy some college football. Sans Arizona State disappointing me against Mississippi State. That was a very much a letdown. But the AP rankings, we need to have a discussion one day and sit down as a family and talk about the AP poll.
The only thing that matters about the AP ranking is the Ohio State is number one. That's all that matters.
Yeah. But we won last week by like 21 points, dropped down in the rankings. We lose again to an SEC team on the road, drop out of the rankings completely. It just makes no sense. I just would like some consistency.
Well,
Notre Dame somehow jumps a spot and they didn't even play. They also lost week one. None of it makes sense.
I'm definitely down to have this conversation on Fridays. We'll get into more college football conversation on Friday. Also, Soccer for Dummies returns on Friday. So Tosin, who I know Tosin's having a shit morning right now. He roots for Manchester United, and the Ravens folded in the most Ravens way possible last night. So send some prayers up for our brother Tosin. But Dante, how you feeling, G?
I'm solid, bro. I really can't complain too much. The Braves are coming to town today, so I'm gonna go up to Truist Tuesday and Wednesday. Finish the season out strong. They are not gonna make the playoffs, but I mean, it's still some good baseball left. They got beat like a drum the other night, like 18-2, and like I haven't seen that in a very long time outside of the state of Colorado. So that was a very interesting game. But no, other than that, I really can't complain at all, bro.
You said the Braves are coming in. Don't the Braves reside in?
I'm sorry. The Chicago Cubs are coming to town. Still fighting for that wild card spot.
Yeah, the Cubs. If I was a Cubs fan, I'd be irate with what the fuck they've been doing after June.
But I mean, honestly, I know not to go off on a tangent. They shouldn't be irate because they weren't expected to be this good in the first place.
Don't tell Cubs fans that. Don't tell our homie Kyle. Kyle and them was talking World Series. Let's not let them off the ledge. Y'all are right where y'all supposed to be, man. But yeah, that's good to hear, man. I'm completely, I don't know what the hell's going on in baseball. Like, if it wasn't for the little 10-minute recap video that MLB puts up every morning, I would be so out the loop. The NFL is back, people.
White Sox got a shortstop, bro. That's all you need to know.
Look, I hope I'm not doing this yet. If he's doing this time 12 months from now, I am on board. I
give you that
way too many times. Like, Tim Anderson was a 2-time batting champion. This dude can't get on the Los Angeles Angels roster right now. So I'm going to give it time. Look, I love what I'm seeing from Colson Montgomery. Absolutely love it. But his numbers, that pace is just astronomical that I'm kind of skeptical that he's going to keep that up. So, but I hope so. I would love to be wrong. I am treating the two Reinsdorf teams like they should be treated. When y'all get y'all shit together, then I will come back around. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing to do. So I'm all football right now. If it ain't Bears, Ohio State, or Arsenal, it's not in my circumference right now. That's just where I'm at right now. But
real quick, when I went out to watch the game on Thursday, the Eagles-Cowboys game, someone got genuinely pissed that they turned off the U.S. Open. And I said, are you for real?
Courtney, can I say something about the U.S. Open?
Be so unbelievable.
Can I say something about the U.S. Open?
I mean, by all means.
90% of the celebrities, not people, because I believe tennis does have a fan base, obviously. 90% of the celebrities at the U.S. Open are just going to be seen. They don't know what the fuck is going on.
It's like I seen it.
Yeah, 100%. It's a New York thing you do when you ain't really got nothing. You want to be seen and things like that. But I saw like a video. Yeah, exactly. They selling $100 chicken nuggets.
Also, can we chill and stop acting like that's some like elite drink? It's literally vodka and lemonade.
Yeah,
like they didn't reinvent the wheel, guys. Like 100%. You probably had that at a party in your life at least once.
100%. But when it's at the U.S. Open, it's a different vibe.
With the melon bowl.
right, with a little fancy cup that they made for $10.
And I love me a stadium plastic cup. Okay, that's what I can.
I do too.
Of my
and let's be very clear. I'm saying if I ever get invited to the U.S. Open, I'm gonna be looking like that Beyonce meme.
Correct, and you will see the cup. You will see it.
Right. Oh yeah, you just gonna see the cup on the IG. Yeah, you just gonna see the cup on the IG with a random rap lyric to go with it. So I am very aware of the vibe part of it. I would do the same thing. But I saw a video of Michael Keegan Key. He is obviously a tennis fan. He's into it, like he's living and dying by every, back and forth. And you just got like Bruce Springsteen in the background looking like dude from Weekend and Bernie's. Like, what the fuck is going on? So, that's what I've noticed from the U.S. Open. But let's move on to our first topic of the day. Last night, what a way for the Shield to get this season started. I thought it was an amazing weekend front to back. Of course, the Thursday night opener was great with the Eagles and Cowboys. The Brazil game was great with the Chargers and the Chiefs. We'll get into that in a minute as well. And, it was dope to see the NFL really evolving on the international scale. I had the GOAT Neymar in the building with Big Raj. That was cool to see. And you had a great Sunday slate of games. But this game right here, one of the premier rivalries in the NFL, the last two MVPs, Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. And I said, if I'm gonna use wrestling terms, I wish Bang was here to understand what I'm saying. This is not the Rock Stone Cold Steve Austin type matchup. I feel like that's Mahomes and like Allen, or Mahomes and like Burrow or some shit. But this is 100% Triple H and Stone Cold. Like, this is like the second tier of rivalries right here. And it's like we see the same game every time. Every time the Ravens look like they had no business losing that game, and they find a way to lose it, man. But the stats: Bills won 41-40 off a game-winning field goal by their kicker, Brandon Carterton. That's how you pronounce my man's name. But the MVP, Josh Allen, went 33 of 46. He had 2 touchdowns throwing, and he also rushed for 2 as well. Lamar Jackson on the other end also had a great game, 14-19, passing 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 1 on the ground as well. Derrick Henry, unstoppable. He was averaging 10 yards a carry. He had 18 carries, 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. So to me, when I look at this game, you always want to point at who's the reason that a team lost. And I'm looking right at their head coach. I'm looking right at their head coach, John Harbaugh. I'm not going to sit up here, blame, Lamar Jackson. I thought Lamar had a pretty, I won't call his game flawless, but he did everything that he was supposed to do to lose this game. Now, a little blame does go to Derrick Henry. You cannot fumble that football. You cannot fumble that football. If I'm going to shit on Lamar like I did last year in the playoffs when he fumbled that ball, I got to do the same thing to King Henry. I tweeted right before that fumble. I was like, right when the Bills scored, I was like, some funny shit about to happen, ain't it? I just felt like some funny shit was gonna happen, and that's exactly what happened. But the story here is John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh. Here's the stat I got for y'all right here. It's from Josh DeBow of the Associated Press. Did you know John Harbaugh has blown 17 double-digit second-half leads? That is the most by any coach since 1991. That is inexcusable. Inexcusable. You got like 6 minutes left in this game, and you have a 15-point lead. The Bills' defense could not stop this running game. Really couldn't stop offense at all. They were just running the ball. And then when they had an opportunity, Lamar's making great passes. And then it's like the Ravens just stopped doing what worked. They stopped doing what worked and allowed the Bills to get back in this game, allowed them to gain confidence. And I think we saw this we've seen this last couple of years with the Ravens. And I said last night, and I'm going to continue to say it, and it's the same thing for the Bills. Nothing these two teams do in the regular season really matters to me anymore. It's about playoffs. And that was, to me, I know it's just week 1, and we're going to do our week 1 overreactions in a minute. But that might be a game we come back and look and say, oh, that's why the AFC Championship is in Buffalo. And that's not something, if you're the Ravens, that you can afford. You can't afford the slow start that they had last year. When they started like 0-2, 0-3, some shit like that. You cannot afford that. And eventually, you got to man up and win these kind of games. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen found a way. No matter what we want to say about him, he found a way. Now, I still have questions about that defense, but that is as big of a week 1 win you can have, and that is as demoralizing of a week 1 loss you can have as well. So, Courtney, what were your thoughts from last night's game?
Well, I mean, again, I often say, and I do shit on this man from time to time, Josh Allen went crazy in the fourth quarter. The second half as a whole, was doing everything that he could. Now, mind you, there was that one near interception that I'm like, yep, he's still got a little dose of the bozo gene in him for sure, because there was no reason why he needed to make that throw there, and it was nearly picked off. Lucky that it hit the ground first. But no, it was a fantastic game. Josh Allen went like 16 for 21, like 200 and almost 270 yards in the fourth quarter alone. Dude went crazy. That being said, again, when you look at a team and if they manage to keep doing the same thing over and over again with different personnel, it doesn't matter if it was Jair Alexander that was getting cooked, that he didn't let Keon Coleman score right there. The one time and again, I know things are happening fast, decisions are made in real time. I can't necessarily fault somebody for that. But Nate Wiggins, 2 fucking PI calls. Like, it's just little mistakes compounding. Again, different personnel. they still found a way to lose this game. And at a certain point, if you're the Ravens, you kind of have to sit back. And again, it's week 1, Bills, Ravens. We already know that this is going to be a very highly contentious game. But again, at a certain point, if you're ownership, the front office, you have to start thinking about the commonality across all of these comeback losses, or these, comeback losses. What's the common occurrence? What's the common thread? And one might have to say that it's John Harbaugh. And Toastin, we talked about it on Friday when he was on the show. He's the Ravens fan. We talked about it. Listen, I think John Harbaugh is a fantastic coach. And I know we have to look, especially you quoted that gentleman. John Harbaugh's been coaching for what? Since like the 90s? Am I tripping?
He's been coaching since the 90s, and he's been head coach of this team since I was a freshman in college. That was a long time ago.
So and again, I'm not even gonna say that. Okay, but
I put that on. I threw a soft pitch down the plate. Yeah.
You did, and you know what? I looked right at it. Look at me, gross. But no, at a certain point, you really just have to sit back and look at the common thread, and it might come to a point where if they can't get it done this year, because I still maintain that that's an excellent defense. They need to lock down, because regardless of how good Josh Allen was, your defense is not a Super Bowl defense if you're sitting up there giving up 40 points a game. It's not. You can't do that. No matter who you're playing, you can't give up 40 points a game in the National Football League. John Harbaugh, we might need to start a dialogue here in the next couple weeks.
Dante, what was your thought on this from a Ravens perspective? With everything that's been hyped up going to the game, and I feel like everybody likes Lamar Jackson, obviously. And it's like they just want him to take that next step. How demoralized do you think this loss is, even though it's just week 1?
I don't think it's demoralizing at all. I think that's the main thing. It's week 1. It's frustrating, yes. You definitely want to come out and start on a good foot. But at the same time, this is a team you're going to see again. And every time they've played, it's going down to the wire like this. So touch on what you said. I think it's time to upgrade this to a tier 1 NFL rivalry. Like, the games are that good. The players that are that good. And usually, just like when we were growing up and we would see Brady versus Manning, you still had those Brady versus Rivers battles that were also extremely fire that we all remember, and, just different playoff plays like that. So I think with these two, like I said, although it's week 1, we know they're going to see each other again in the playoffs. So I wouldn't be demoralized. To Nicholas's point in the chat, both defenses have to be better, and I think they will be better. But also, it's one of those situations where when two elite teams get together, you could throw away everything. It's really all bets are off. So it's a situation where they're going to, throw haymakers at each other. And we saw each team respond all night. I'm not going to, trash Derrick Henry for fumbling the ball. He didn't, fumbles happen. It was the worst time for it. And I think with Lamar Jackson, like you said, as far as the Ravens, to answer your question, Scott, it's one of those things where they just keep being like snake bitten in a sense. So you got to just keep digging, and eventually they will break through. I think Lamar will get that Super Bowl. We'll end that conversation. But for right now, I don't think it's too much to be demoralized about. Is it frustrating? Yes, especially when your season ended last year on a drop 2-point conversion. And then, like you said, because I know when it was 40-25, I thought the game was over. And I had text somebody, BTA, belt to ask, because I thought, they're really about to just smoke them and set the tone for the season. So from a Ravens standpoint, I don't panic, but it's like, okay, we know we're going to see this team again. We need to tighten up. And this can't happen a third time. If it happens a third time, then you got to start asking some questions. Like, all right, why is it every time we play this team, it goes down to the wire and we just can't get over that hump? But I think as far as right now, week 1, there's no need to overreact.
Yeah, I think too from the Ravens perspective, this is not something where I expect the Ravens to lose and then this is just going to be a shit season. Like I said, regular season, they got the formula down pat. They have lost early games that have been very painful. Last year, likely. Yeah. It's the mentality. It's the way they lost, and it's something that it's not the regular season. It's with this team, with the Bills. That's like if you look at the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Ravens, I would say the top 3 contenders in the AFC. Until I see more from the Bengals defense, I'm not going to put them there. In that 3, it's all about January and February. With the Chiefs, we know Pat's been there, done that. If his receivers can just catch, they should be fine. And we'll get into that game in a minute. But with the Ravens and Bills, and more specifically the Ravens, it's like this stuff can't keep happening, whether it's week 1 or week 12, because you've done it in the playoffs. And shout out to the homegirl Rita. You know, she's joined us multiple times here. She holds it down on the Ravens coverage. And Tori Smith tweeted that, oh, Ravens fans are reacting. And she was like, no, like we see this in the playoffs all the time. Like we're properly reacting. And I agree with that. Like if you're a Ravens fan and you're upset right now, it's not like, oh man, we're getting mad because we lost the first game of the season. No, you're getting mad because you know how your season ended. And it's like they haven't learned anything from that. Now, from the Bills' perspective, I picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to continue to pick the Bills for the Super Bowl. Now, the defense did not make me feel any more confident about that. I mean, you give up 40 points on the road. I mean, not on the road, but at home, and you don't even look like you even pinch the bitch on the running game. Now, granted, every team in the league ain't gonna run the football like the Baltimore Ravens. They're probably the best running team in the NFL. I understand that. But the will to win anyway is what I love about this team. But I do believe that this defense is going to have to, you know, hunker down a little bit more. You can't be giving up 40 points. I'm not saying they need to be elite. In today's offense, in today's NFL, all you need is great offense and just decent defense, I believe, to win the Super Bowl. I don't really believe I never really believed the defense wins championship shit. Defense wins championship when your offense can put up points. Let's be very clear about that. I know that personally. But this is a good win for them because the way they came back, nobody expected. I'm with Josh Allen on this. Fans left the stadium early. If you are leaving a stadium in a 2-score game, you are not built. You are not built for this sport. Go watch tennis. Go to the U.S. Open, my nigga. Like, this is not for you. So I understand why Josh Allen was upset about that. Courtney, from the Bills' perspective, you know, I know you talked about how Josh Allen just found a way to win, but how do you think this, you know, carries them going on for the rest of the season?
I mean, it's, again, I know it's early, but like, and there's something to be said because we have the same discussions, and I know we're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs here in a little bit. We talk about how, you know, some guys are able to, it doesn't necessarily matter who they're throwing the ball to because they managed to get it done. Like, look at Josh Allen's receiver core and tell me that, like, oh, Pat needs more help. Pat needs more. Maybe Pat does need more help, but Josh Allen finds a way to get it done with fucking Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir and, you know, 2 tight ends. That's crazy to me that we're talking about this guy. And like I said, the receiver core is not full of stars and he still manages to pull out games like this. I fear we should be maybe a little afraid. And by we, I mean like the Chiefs should probably be a little bit more afraid and fearful, especially since they did not look good at all on Friday against the Chargers. They should be afraid and be on notice.
Dante, from the Bills' perspective, what did you see?
From the Buffalo Bills' perspective, I think, you know, it's still Josh Allen the bust, bro. Like, Josh is a guy, you know he's a guy. And I think if I'm the Buffalo Bills, yeah, I need to see my defense tighten up a bit. But as long as I got Josh Allen in the center, we keep him healthy, I think I like my chances right now. Again, we just talked about it with Lamar. This is 2 guys that we need to see continue to keep digging until they break through. And with Buffalo, I'm not so sure he actually needs an elite receiver because, like I've talked about, y'all know how I feel about receivers. Like, that's the new quarterback. Like, they can draft a guy that's serviceable and like new running back. Running back. Yeah, it's a new running back. Like, I'm not finna spend $100 million on a wide receiver when there's somebody from Slidell, Louisiana that's coming out running a 4.3 at 6'2". So at this point, I think it's a team that you have Josh Allen, you have the pieces in place, you have a great head coach. Just continue to build on that culture. And, you know, this is the last season in that stadium. So, you know how poetic sports are. You can't really write a lot of this stuff. So it will be dope to see them not only hosting a snowy AFC championship game in their last season in that stadium and, you know, with the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. So if I'm the Bills, this is exactly how I wanted to start my season, get a W in a game that, again, we will see again. You will see this opponent again, but it's like, you know, more of the same. We beat them now twice in a row. So you want to start to, I don't think you ever get comfortable with a guy like Lamar and the defense like the Ravens that we know are going to put on the field. But if I can keep beating you, it takes some of those nerves out when we continue to play and then we play in the playoffs, because it's like we know what this team is about, we know what they can do, and we're gonna be solid.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree on the wide receiver tip, because I do believe you still need some great wide receivers. That's the difference between a game-changing wide receiver and just a good wide receiver.
I don't know. Deion Coleman looked pretty good last night.
He looked great last night. When you have a great quarterback, you just need good receivers. Like,
okay, here's one. Okay, great.
Tom Brady,
okay, I get.
Like, I think Josh Allen. I think at this point, even though we all have our knocks on Josh Allen, we can admit that he is a tier 1 elite, top 3, top 5 quarterback. If you have that, get me 3 people that can catch the damn ball. I don't need.
Are we all in agreement?
I don't need Jamar Chase. I don't.
Are we all in agreement that the tier 1 of NFL quarterbacks, in whatever order you have them, is Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, and Burrow? I think that's good. I think that's easily the top 4.
I have a spicy one for number 5, but that's just neither.
What? Who's 5?
I think
who you got 5? 5 is a question mark for me.
Scott, you're not gonna like. Scott not gonna like this, but no, it's Justin Herbert. Like, he's a dog. Let's be crystal clear. Justin Herbert can make any throw on the football field. He was handcuffed by an idiot head coach. Like, he is a great quarterback. Justin Herbert is a dog. Okay.
I'm not going to let recency bias cloud my judgment.
No, not even today. I said that last year. Back when Buddy was still blowing games in the fourth quarter.
By the way, Chargers season ticket holder Dante, by the way.
Not a coincidence, but I mean, yes. That is my guy.
But speaking of the quarterbacks, actually a nice pivot to the next part of this conversation. Because I saw somebody tweet this morning that, oh man, well, no matter how last games went, it's you have to agree that it's Allen and Josh, whichever way you put it, as far as Allen and Lamar, no matter which way, it's the top 2 quarterbacks. Look, I'm gonna say this about Pat. Do I think that Allen and Lamar have had better regular seasons the last 3 years? Yes. But there is a phrase from the greatest television show of all time, Omar Little, surprisingly from Baltimore, Maryland. If you come at the king, you bet not miss. None of them dudes are taking out the king yet. So I understand. It's kind of like the LeBron thing. Like, LeBron wasn't MVP every year. LeBron wasn't the number 1 player in the NBA every year, just going off statistics. But you knew he was the best player in the NBA. Now, there was a couple times he got his crown knocked off, but outside of the Warriors, didn't happen that much. So until somebody in the AFC takes Mahomes' crown off his head, I don't really care what kind of seasons Allen and Lamar having. I'm still going back, and I always ask this question: if your life is on the line and you need one quarterback, there's only one quarterback in the history of this sport I'm taking over Patrick Mahomes, and he happens to be in the booth calling games and owns the Las Vegas Raiders. That's the only person. I still think Pat is that guy, but Pat has accomplished so much that, as crazy as it sounds, nothing he does really excites us anymore. Courtney, am I off on that, or do you think that he has fallen down a little bit?
I mean, I really, really, really try, and this is someone who lost fantasy twice this week in both my leagues. I try not to overreact in week 1. That being said, I don't know if I'm ready to give, like, just to pass the crown, like you said, to anybody else, just because, again, it's week 1. Chiefs defense didn't look great. And I know we had the discussion about Jalen Hurts last week and, the circumstances needing to be perfect for him in order to be, a successful quarterback. Depending on what direction and trajectory this Chiefs team goes, hell, one might say the same thing about Patrick by the end of the season. The circumstances need to be perfect. He needs more weapons. We saw how the offense kind of fell apart once Xavier Worthy was done. And I'm not saying Xavier Worthy is some incredible receiver, but, like, again, maybe the circumstances.
Well, I can't even call it perfect sync. I think you can argue that Keon Coleman is better than damn near every wide receiver that Patrick Mahomes has at his disposal. I don't even know if that's completely hot take. Yeah.
I don't even think that's controversial.
Yeah, no, not at all. I'm about to say Crenshaw Brown. We need to get him up out of here. I can't call him Hollywood.
No, we can't even. We can't even disrespect Crenshaw. Rancho Cucamonga Brown. That's
man
who he is.
terrible.
Yeah, terrible. So, but I do think that, Pat has just done so much. And I do believe that he did benefit from stronger rosters. Even with these quote unquote weaker rosters, he's still making the Super Bowl. Like all these teams in the AFC who have better rosters have yet to beat him. He went to Lamar's house 2 seasons ago, beat him with Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And then last year, beat the Bills in them. So it's like he still finds a way. Now it's gonna be a little different, and I think the second half of this chapter, like the one thing we see about Brady, which I don't think enough people talk about, is he went 10 years without a Super Bowl. Now, of course, he went to a couple Super Bowls, lost to the Giants twice, lost to the Eagles. But there's a second era of New England Patriots football where it's Brady, Belichick, and you got Gronkowski. You got that double murderer who's in hell right now. You had everybody over there in that area. And it was a little different than the first three-peat. The first three-peat was built on defense. This one was mainly built on offense. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know if and when Andy Reid steps away, what's that going to look like? That I think is an interesting conversation, man. We're gonna bring Bang in. Bang is with us. He's bearing down. You got your Khalil Mack jersey. Bang, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. It's a new day out here, just ready, bear down. You know what I'm saying? Just feeling good.
Also, I get triggered every time I hear that because I went to Arizona State and bear down is a U of A's like chant. So
to be fair, the Chicago Bears have been around longer.
Correct. Yeah. I'm just telling you that every time I hear it, I think of U of A, unfortunately. So I'm trying. Every time I walk through the Hallis Hall hallway, like when you walk through the hallway to head to the locker room, the hallway has nothing, all the Hall of Fame numbers in the hallway, which I think is the coolest walkway in there, and a big ass sign that says the founding franchise of the National Football League. So yes, we've been around longer than all these guys. No, correct. Hey, I'm in agreement, brother. I'm just saying.
We want to be the Pittsburgh Steelers so bad. Like,
I mean, look, I wish. Look, this thing. If the Green Bay called themselves Title Town, they count NFL championships, nigga. We Title Town too, and we get to count our segregation titles like they do. They got one more Super Bowl than we do. Like let's relax. But Bang, before we move on, I want to know if you had any thoughts about last night's Sunday Night Football game.
Hey, I went to sleep. I thought this shit was over. Like I went to sleep. I thought it was over. I woke up this morning and text my cousins and I'm like, yo, what the hell happened? Now, as I recount everything through highlights and stuff, oh my God, I missed the game of the year. I don't think it's probably going to be a better game than what we got last year. But 2 MVPs going head to head. That game should not have been lost by the Baltimore Ravens. They definitely choked there. And that defense, I know that Tosin last week was like, hey, they may have their future head coach on the team. No, the hell they don't. No, the hell they don't. No, the hell they don't. Zach Orr can get his ass up out of here today.
I didn't want to say anything about Zach Orr. I believe that's his name, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Zach Orr could take his ass. Zach Orr could take his ass to film a Tubi film playing the defensive coordinator somewhere.
It was not a great again, but I don't want if to a degree I do agree that like coaching was a big misstep. Like, why did y'all take your foot off the gas offensively? I don't understand. Like, why are you trying to play prevent defense when you know you got Josh Allen on the other side of the fucking football? It just like made no sense to me. Again, the Nate Wiggins 2 PI calls, Jair Alexander. I know y'all know him far too well.
Man, I enjoy watching his out there. It's like I enjoy watching his ass get cooked up and down the field. I pray for that. He just talk. One thing I don't like about Jay, he always talk like he was Champ Bailey, nigga. Like, go sit down somewhere. Well, no, what Thug say? Man, get out the way. And that's how I feel about Jair, man. Like, get out of here.
But no, Bang, I agree with you completely. I was thinking about Friday's show, and I was like, damn, he was talking about Zach Orr, gassing him up, and then defense went out sad. Defense went out sad.
Cancel Christmas on that shit.
Let's move on to one of Satan's strongest soldiers, Aaron Rodgers.
Hold
Look,
on.
man,
Do we see this question in the comments?
It's a question. Why do Lamar keep getting excuses for the L's when Fields take L's? It's always on him and Fields has been. Okay, I'm going to answer this question for you. Very simple, Damian. Lamar Jackson is a 2-time MVP. Lamar Jackson has made it to the AFC Championship game. And most importantly, Lamar Jackson is very, very talented and actually lived up to his talent. Okay.
Hold on. It's an overreaction that I'll get to later, but Damian, we will be unpacking this. I will before I get off this program today. My overreaction of the day. We'll circle back to this.
Okay, we gonna circle back to that. Dante, you hilarious. But yeah, so last night we saw one of Satan's greatest soldiers, that is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers completed a comeback last night over his former team, the New York Jets, 34-32. Aaron went 22 of 30, had 244 yards passing, threw for 4 touchdowns. The defense did great. Jalen Ramsey, telling y'all I am not watched yet, with a huge hit on Johnny Gillface, aka Garrett Wilson, to win the game. And then, our boy Justin had a great game. Justin went 16-22, 218 yards passing, 1 touchdown, also rushed for 48 yards and had 2 touchdowns. The last play, we can debate if he should have ran. We can debate if Garrett Wilson should have touched it. Should have caught it. I don't think either one of those are inaccurate. I think that maybe Justin could have ran, but also Garrett Wilson, you should have held on to that ball, man. But I look at it like this. I don't want to put too much stock in it, but at the same time, this might be one of the worst combinations we've ever seen. Like, this is like when your homie links up with your op. Like, I love Mike Tomlin. Like, he was a Bears coach. I love Mike Tomlin. He is one of the best coaches in the history of this league. He is Mr. Steeler at this point. And to see him throwing the fist up with this piece of shit makes me want to vomit. But at the same time, Aaron Rodgers, everybody who's been tortured by this man knew what was going to happen. I saw this in my sleep. For him to come back and win the game that he was able to win the way he did it. I unfortunately think this is a great thing for the Steelers, because I said the Steelers, even in bad seasons, win 10 games. And I think this is a great start for him. And honestly, as much as I can't stand Rodgers, there's 2 things I respect about him. One, he kept that same energy with the Jets, and he got that win and showed them, hey, I'm not all the way washed yet. And something that don't even got nothing to do with this game. I like Ryan Clark. Met Ryan Clark. He's a cool guy. But Ryan Clark was talking all of that shit about this man. But then when he got up to camp, was doing that former Steelers shit and tried to get a interview with Aaron. And Aaron was like, nah, like, keep the same energy you had when you was talking about me on TV. So I got to respect the anti-vax on that. But this, to me, is not good because of my haterism when it comes to this man. But if you're a Steelers fan, you got to love the way that this went, because this is a good omen for the season, in my personal opinion. DK Metcalf is just going to get better. This defense is always good. Jalen Ramsey looking like he has a little bit enough. And for Jets fans, my only thing to tell y'all, don't get too high off the Justin Fields highs. Look, I hope that Justin has finally found a home. I've seen this game before, though. Many times I've seen this game. And I've also seen games where he don't know what he's throwing. So I wanna make sure we pace this the right way. He even had games like this with the Steelers. So that was my overall thoughts on this one. Courtney, what'd you take from this game?
I guess I'll be it's fine. I don't know if I'm going to have time to make it to the Overreaction Monday portion of this program. But
well, we're going to let you get your overreaction right now.
Correct.
Yeah,
my overreaction is Justin Fields is about to have a breakout season, and it's amazing what happens when you have a coach that doesn't treat you like shit. Not talking about your coach, for the record. I'm talking about his Steelers situation, because Justin Fields Justin Fields did everything he could in that game yesterday. One would argue it was a Herculean effort by him, but it doesn't help when special teams is fumbling the ball, missed 2-point conversions, receivers dropping balls. Dude did everything that he could, in my opinion. I think it was a fantastic game. Now, again, I know that y'all will say, oh, well, I've seen this show before, and I don't like the ending. I understand. I maintain Justin Fields is about to go crazy this season. I think he's in a good offense for it, and I can't wait to see it. That's my overreaction. Justin Fields is going to be fucking great this season.
Now, Courtney, do you have to go now so we can get
No,
you
no,
out of
no.
here?
Not yet.
You
Not
got
yet.
more time? You got time? Okay.
Yeah, I got
But Dante, we know you were still one of Justin's strongest soldiers out here. What did you like from Justin, and what did you see from Rodgers that you didn't like?
I this before I talk about Justin, because everybody knows how I feel about Justin. My thing with Aaron Rodgers is, and this is just maybe me being the one glass completely empty Bears fan in this group. He's the best thrower of the football I've ever seen in my life. So when he does these things, I'm not surprised. So the thing you see now is he's still smart enough to throw the ball away, but he's not as mobile as he once was. So when they were blitzing him, he was like a deer in headlights. He was like, it's like his mind knew what to do, but his body couldn't do it anymore. So like you still had a couple ways to throw it away, but he took a couple bad sacks. But at the end of the day, if you give that man 3 seconds in the pocket, he's going to find somebody. And 9 times out of 10, that's going to crush you. Like it just is what it is. There's nothing you could do about that. So when Aaron, I wasn't shocked. They kept him upright on that last drive. He got him where he needed to go. They got that lucky BS bounce to DK on the pass that was tipped and bounced around. But other than that, if you can keep him upright, Aaron Rodgers is going to be successful throwing the football. As for Justin, that was the first time, and I mean, it was a few flashes in Chicago, but that was the first time I really saw him just making decisions immediately. Like, okay, this is my guy. Let's go. There was one throw he made in the fourth quarter where he split the linebacker and the safety, and he threw a rope. And I don't think he ever threw a ball like that in Chicago. So I think this is a testament to, Aaron Glenn and them going to him and saying, hey, you're our guy. We're believing you. Do what you need to do. And I'm with Courtney. I actually don't think it's an overreaction. I think Justin's going to have a very good year this year because he has a team that believes in him and they have weapons as well as running backs. So it's not going to be all on Justin. And when you have all of that, and then you add his ability to run and extend plays and get out of the pocket, I think he's going to have a really good year. So I like what I saw from Justin. Is just about, again, the consistency. Can he do it consistently? But if he does, I think he's going to have a great year. And I mean, like you said, Aaron Rodgers, but it's Aaron Rodgers. I'm not shocked anymore when he does stuff like this. That's just who he is.
Now, I have a question for both you and Courtney. So quantify what great year means to me. Give me numbers. What numbers do you think? Because Justin still yet to throw for 20 touchdowns. So does he cross that, or is it going to be like a hybrid, like maybe 15?
It'll be a hybrid
on the ground.
Yeah. It'll be more so like that. And I know people hate that comparison, but like the early Lamar before he was just slinging that joint, like when you had the mix of touchdowns. Well, not Lamar. Let me say Josh Allen. Remember when Josh Allen first got here? And it was a mix. Like he would throw for touchdowns, but he would run a lot too. I think with Justin will start to get that. And then, he was. But then, I think to my point, that's Justin. That's Justin in a nutshell. Like you're gonna get that mix. So I think I don't think he's gonna throw for 4,000 yards because they're not gonna throw the ball that much. I'll say 3,100 yards. I'll say maybe 18 passing touchdowns, 6 or 8 rushing touchdowns, and not fumbling the ball. That's another thing. He used to put the ball on the floor a lot. Yeah. A lot. I think if he can keep those fumbles down, the interceptions, because despite the fact that he doesn't throw that often, he doesn't turn it over too much. So I think he'll be under 10 interceptions. But I think 18 passing touchdowns. Like you said, not fumbling the ball. 3,100, 3,200 yards. That's a good season for me.
Yeah, and I need the Jets to listen. Do me, the Saints fan here, a favor. Go ahead and get Chris Olave. Go ahead and ship him up there.
Did you notice every time
create the super Ohio State offense up there and watch Justin?
Did you notice every time the red zone switches to a Saints game, Chris Olave is heading to the locker room?
Every time, bro. I'm getting nervous for him for real. Like I think he might be one of the first players. They need to mandate he plays in the Guardian cap because this is ridiculous, bro. How is it every time we see you in the blue tent? Like, nah, this is getting crazy, bro. Put that cap on and wear the whole game.
They need to get him out of there.
I 100% agree. Bang, I know you are somebody who plots on the demise of Aaron Rodgers as much as I do. What did you see from him and what did you see from Justin?
Actually, from an Aaron standpoint, it's kind of what I expected. I'm high, unfortunately, I am high on the thought that Aaron Rodgers is going to lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to a playoff win. I was high enough before I did my actually going in and picking the games. I was high on them possibly going to the AFC Championship. I'm not now after going through everything, but if this team has seen some type of success at the very least of winning, having a winning season with Mason Rudolph, Duck Rodgers, with the Russell Wilson, Justin Fields duo, all they got to do is give Aaron Rodgers 4 seconds and you're going to be okay. They need to get that running game going. Warren and Caleb Johnson is going to have to, pick up that slack along with the offensive line. But it's game one. It's week one. And I am more positive on the fact that Aaron Rodgers can do nothing but get better than he can get worse. Justin, I'm going to get my overreaction out the way now too, just in case I got a dip. I do think that Justin is going to have that Sam Darnold season. I think there is something to the fact that quarterbacks have been given up on a lot early, and we've seen some of them quarterbacks actually do well. Geno Smith, Sam Darnold. I'm not saying that Justin Fields is going to win MVP and all of that stuff right there. But what I will say is I believe that he's going to have a successful season. I think that for him, 3,200 yards, 18 touchdowns, eight rushing touchdowns, and 900 yards is a great season for him. And I feel like there's potential that the Jets have found their quarterback of the future. Is it going to be up and downs? Yeah, I do think it's going to be up and downs. But it's not going to be that rookie up and down. I think that Justin's going to find himself along the lines of some of these other quarterbacks that's actually been decent after they settled down. I mean, I hate to say what I'm about to say, but it makes me think, damn, maybe we need to start giving these quarterbacks these big-ass contracts again so we can actually see people stick with them. Or we really need to just talk about how coaching for some of these people have been tough.
So Bang, real quick.
You absolutely spot on. I agree with everything Bang just said.
Yeah, so Bang, let me ask you this. So what you really saying is the Bears completely.
No, I ain't saying that shit. No, I ain't saying that shit. No, I'm not. Because wait. I'm not going that far because if we would have did that, that means that Eberflus would have had to stay. No. No. That Eberflus would have had to stay. But it does say something to the people who you hire.
Yeah.
That Eberflus should look. Scott, remember the first conversation we had when they hired Eberflus. I said he ain't making. I said he's not making it to.
That was after I said, "Who the fuck is Matt Eberflus?"
Right. I was like, "Yo, we just know he ain't making it to the stadium."
As long as my Justin Fields, Geno Smith comparison is slowly on that collision course, I am all for it.
And he's younger. That's the other thing too. He would be younger in this case too. So no. And then plus, I've said this on this show. I've said this on some dude. Hey man, that mid-tier quarterback, we're back. Hey man, we're back. I love me mid-tier quarterback. We back.
Man, you've been saying it. We need mid-tier quarterbacks and we need role players in the NBA back. Like,
we need wily veterans.
It improves the game, 100%.
Yep.
And since we're on Overreaction Monday, I'm gonna just say mine right now too. Me and Dante get those out the way. My overreaction: CJ Stroud is ass. Okay, the CJ Stroud we knew 2 years ago is gone. I don't recognize this dude. CJ Stroud is ass. Okay,
I said it on Friday. The swagger gone, fam. I said on Friday the swagger's gone.
He threw 2 of the most egregious interceptions I've ever seen in my life, and I'm a Bears fan.
I used to blame Bobby Slowick for the Houston Texans offensive problems, and now Slowick is the passing game coordinator for the Bucs now. So he's gone. So who do you blame now? What is the? It is an overreaction, but also, yeah.
He stinks.
I think it's gonna be an overreaction. I swear, I don't think, man. This one we might look back at and be like, the swagger's gone. Like, see, the swag, we don't feel the same energy. Even with the interceptions we saw last year, we felt like, hey, man, CJ gonna be straight. No, man, that aura gone, G.
I'm about to say, what the kids say, aura, the aura, it's gone.
Yeah. It's gone.
Again.
Bro, who's the defensive coordinator for the Rams? That he was looking like Buddy Ryan yesterday. That's how bad CJ Stroud looked.
Yeah.
It would have been a blowout if Matthew Stafford had any function in his back. Like, for real. What'd you say, Courtney?
Related overreaction, real quick, because I'm thinking about it. We're talking about coaching and things of that nature and how much it impacts a quarterback. Why was Daniel Jones balling yesterday? And why do we need to maybe unpack the fact that the Giants really just what a fucking masterclass in mismanagement?
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on that one because
Yeah,
Miami Dolphins ass.
Yeah, Miami Dolphins.
Russell Wilson is not great. Hold on. Russell Wilson is not great. Okay. But why are people so anxious to throw Jackson Dart in there? Like, we're not going to start the cycle over of putting rookie quarterbacks in bad fucking situations and expecting them to turn.
Hey, Courtney,
I'm
with you, but I watched that game. That's a game that I watched for that reason. I have no clue. But Russell Wilson is ass.
100%.
And at this,
but I don't think you're doing your rookie any favors.
No.
And
all I'm
him
saying,
right into the division. Cowboys, Giants, Commanders.
I feel you, which is why I was about to say that I hope Jackson Dart is way better than what I imagined, because at this point, I'd rather have his ass in there than Russell. Russell ass looked like he just came from the BET Awards with Sierra. He looked like he had no reason to be out there, fam.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, he came off a promo 2 run.
From a developmental standpoint,
I'm with you. No,
I think it's unfair to put Dart in that situation.
No,
the coach is ass, the team is ass.
I'm with you. I don't think that team is as ass as we think, though.
That's why I disagree. I think it's
that's
Russ.
the thing. I don't think the Giants. I watched that game. That defensive line is woo. That defense is way better. I think that the running back situation is decent. They have an offensive line that's not healthy because Andrew Thomas is not there. I don't think that team is as ass as we think. If I look at a team that's ass, that's the New Orleans Saints. That's the Miami Dolphins. That team is ass.
Are worse than the Saints, and I'll stand on that.
The Washington Commanders won that game, and they did not look as good as you thought that they should have in that game.
Look, JG brings up a good point. This is why I'm with you, Bang, when it comes to I think Jackson Dart is gonna be ass.
Like, I agree with you, Courtney. In this case, though, I'm not sure.
I think Jackson Dart is gonna be ass too, but I think you got to start him just for the guy that JG just mentioned. Malik Neighbors looks like the man trade request by the deadline. Like, he's had enough. He's like, look, I'm not used to this.
Starting before like week 5 or week 6 because of the games the Giants have to play.
Well, shit, that schedule gonna be tough every goddamn game.
I want Jackson Dart right now.
Maybe give him some time to just sit and watch. People,
but
Giants fans are already calling for Dart to start. No rhyme intended. I think
look. Brian Daboll might be almost ready for him. He already said yesterday he has not been confirmed for week 2. His job's on the line.
And we all know that Jameis is just there for motivational purposes only. So
if
I'm Daboll, I'm putting in Jackson Dart. This might be my SEC bias talking, but I think Jackson will give you a better chance of winning than Russell Wilson every Sunday, even as a rookie. No disrespect to Russ. He had his run. He did what he did. The moon balls were dope. But whenever Russ gets under center now, it's like, okay, he's going to go 14 for 26 for 140 yards, throw a couple picks. Like, it's nothing that I want to see. So with a guy like Neighbors, I want to see if I can catch lightning in a bottle with Neighbors and my rookie quarterback. But for my overreaction, and Gary, you spoke on it. I hate to root for a black man to lose his job, but that brother in Miami will not be the head coach by the end of the season. It's over. It's over. Like, you talk about losing the aura, it's done. I don't care how many off-whites he pulls out and wears on the sidelines. And by week 3, Tariq Hill might slap him with an iPad. Like, they're fed up with him. Like, I don't think he's going to be the head coach by the end of the season. I think a part of it is, people trashed Flores for not wanting Tua, but I don't think Tua's the guy. And I think that's going to cause Mike McDaniels to lose his job. So that's my overreaction. I know it's only 1 week, but the Dolphins going from being the dynamic number 1 offense in the league 2 years ago to what they are now, the fact that they can't win a game when it's under 45 degrees. I forgot what Tua record is when it gets cold, but it's something ridiculous.
It's egregious.
And you're going to play in the playoffs, Buffalo, Kansas City. We don't need to keep going. You get where I'm going with that.
It's over
with for Miami.
This is what Overreaction Monday is for. I got a couple. One, I might be with Bang. There might be a storm in the NFC led by the Bake Show. All right, I liked what I saw from Tampa yesterday.
That's my dog, man. That is my dog.
I love what I saw from the Bake Show.
Big Baker Mayfield guy.
Yeah. I have loved the transformation of Baker Mayfield these last couple years. It has been enjoyed. They might be an NFC sleeper. And also, Bang, you might be right. It might be time to pump the brakes on Drake May. What was that yesterday? And Bomani Knicks look bad too. Like,
hey,
look, Sean Payton,
talk your shit, cuz.
Sean Payton, I have eyes. And what I saw yesterday was a shit quarterback. Okay.
I don't want to hear none of that shit about Caleb. That's what I said. I don't want to hear none of that shit about Caleb. Caleb, specifically because we ain't seen nothing from them other niggas. Michael Penix Jr. looked hella decent yesterday. Money Knicks looked like ass yesterday. And Drake May, oh my God. Mike Vrabel was looking at that dude like, how I get here?
Dante,
can I do one more overreaction?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
For this group.
Oh yeah, but mine, that's my dog. But one more overreaction. Again, we back to the brothers. Raheem Morris, you are under surveillance, brother. You are under surveillance. Because, like you said, Michael Penix was slinging that joint. He threw the ball 40 times. He can make any throw on the field. But when they play so scary, and this is something that it seems like no matter who the coach is, this is something that happens in Atlanta, where they play for the game-winning field goal as opposed to going to win the game. That was one of the biggest things about the Matt Ryan era. Matt Ryan was, if you check it, I'm pretty sure he was like top 3 in fourth quarter comebacks, but it was always the same thing with the Falcons. And when they would lose, it would be the exact same way in a dramatic fashion. I know we had some fun with his name over the years, but Young Way Cool, it's time to go home. If I can't put you out there to make medium length field goals, bro, I don't want you on my team. Like, there's no point of view.
But also, related note, real quick, I do have to head out of here in a second.
Okay.
But did they say something about they changed the balls for the kickers this season to it's supposed to make it easier for them to kick? I watched a lot of missed field goals yesterday.
Yeah, you can bring your own ball now because you know how they scrub the balls. They do all of that. Now the kickers can bring their own. Yeah.
But either way, I saw a lot of missed field goals yesterday. I know Chris Boswell's him, okay? Matt Prater's old ass dimes, okay? Maybe there's something to the technique, but I watched a lot of missed field goals yesterday. So I'm hoping that somebody across the league cleans it up because it was egregious.
Yeah, I agree with that. But Courtney, we know you got to bounce, so we're gonna get you out of here.
This was
Courtney.
fun, by the way. I really kind of like the morning show.
I ain't gonna lie, I like the morning show too. We might have to talk about this. I'll put it in the group chat later.
The best part of the day, like
right, I got more energy. You know what I'm saying? We will discuss this.
The comments were firing off. People were ready to go. Maybe the Monday
people at work.
Yeah, if we can maybe make it work.
We might have to make this a regular thing. I would check in with y'all schedules after the show.
Correct.
We might have to do that.
Sort through this.
Courtney, let them know where they can follow you at. Tell them where to check out your new segment we've been doing.
Absolutely. You can follow me on all social media platforms at 1-800-CALL-A-BRO. I got a lot of questions about that this weekend while I was out of the town. 1-800-CALL-A-BRO, but you're a girl. My last name is Colobro. I didn't choose it. Shout out to my parents.
See who we got here.
It was just
who somebody had their phone on.
Leave us see him.
Bang on the work meeting.
Yeah, Bang got one of his columns open here. He said, "Morning show better. Watch this shit." You know what? We might have to do Monday morning show. We gonna figure this out.
After week
Sunday
one. NFL, we might need to unpack this for sure.
So I'm definitely at work. This is what I'd rather. Yeah, okay, we gonna figure this out, man.
Yeah.
We gonna holler at you on Friday
for sure. But no, again, I'm gonna be out this weekend. It was raining this weekend at the SMU Baylor tailgate, and I was like, I'm not doing that for school that I didn't even go to. Trying to figure out actually what game I want to go to this weekend because I'm thinking about traveling. Florida does play LSU this weekend in Baton Rouge, and that looks real intriguing. So if any of you guys have hookups on tickets, please hit my line before I be trying to buy because the tickets are like $500. But I will likely be in Baton Rouge this weekend. Listen to some Boosie, some Set It Off. I'm trying to get
and America's best song, which was my graduation song, "Wipe Me Down." That's what.
Yes, correct.
That is my shit. But all right, Courtney, we're gonna holler at you on Friday.
All right, sounds good, man.
Bang will be joining us just in a minute. He has to do Bang things. We're gonna bring Courtney back on Friday. But yeah, so right now it's me and Dante holding it down. We got a couple other things to talk about. Shout out to everybody joining us here on the morning edition. That I think might be a frequent thing. We're gonna figure this out. But yeah, Monday Night Football tonight. We're gonna get into the Bears in just a minute, but we got to talk about the Packers and the Lions. Packers and Lions last night. The Packers put boot to ass on the Detroit Lions. Now we'll talk about how we feel about it from a Bears fan perspective, a little minute. But man, I gotta say, I did not like what I like. Yesterday was one of the games where I was like, I won, but at what cost? Like, yes, the Lions look like they're selling themselves. I'm very clear that this can backfire on me next Sunday. By the way, I will be in Detroit. I will be in Detroit this weekend for the game with my Detroit family members. So I'm very clear. This could definitely backfire on me by this time next week. But in the meantime, which is what the NFL season is about, you talking shit. So I liked what I saw from Detroit. But Green Bay looked like how I was scared that they would look. They looked freakish. Did you see that Michael Parsons sack on Jared Goff? Like, he knocked like 4 dudes out the way. It was like a lion chasing a gazelle, and he just like took him down, bro. And it's like the thing that looked scary to me was Micah's clearly on a snap count. He's not 100%. And all you got, my opinion on Jordan Love has not changed, but Jordan Love can make the plays that can dice your ass up because LaFleur knows how to game plan for him. And that is the worst thing. Like, they just didn't give up. And I haven't seen a Lions team really since Ben Johnson took over look as dry offensively as they did. Defensively, I forgot Hutch was on the field. Like, they weren't doing anything. The offensive line, which is their prized offensive line, which is like the soul of their team, got flat out worked, not just by Micah, but the entire Packers defensive line. And I think this is a statement win for the Packers because, okay, this is our division. You know, we're going to get back to this. Now, from the Bears, I'm like, yo, we need to establish a little bit more order in this division. It needs to get back to just being the Bears, Packers, and we're going to put the Vikings and the Lions back their little ass place they need to be. But as a Bears fan, I was like, okay, this isn't good. But it was a masterful performance. I think for the Lions, now you're going to start to think. I'm not saying that their mentality is done, but if they lose next week to us, it's going to be DEFCON 1 on 8 Mile. But Dante, what did you see yesterday from that game?
I mean, it's the reason I said that the Green Bay Packers will win a Super Bowl within the next 3 years. I think Mike is that good. I think that coaching staff is that good. And you talk about the youngest team in the NFL. So with Jordan Love, it comes to a point, and we talk about this often with young quarterbacks. If I can put you in a situation where, hey, bro, don't lose this game for me. Just don't lose it for me. You don't have to go out and win it. And he allowed him to grow into that and, earn his stripes, take his licks, and then become that guy that can go win you a game. But for right now, with the talent you have as the youngest team in the league, like you said, it is scary. But also, I won't say scary because we talked about this 2 seasons ago before we got slapped back down in reality. At the end of the day, if the Bears want to beat a man, you got to beat the man. So we're going to have to go through Green Bay regardless. So I know we have our hesitancies to just say the Bears are ready, and we'll get into that in the local hour. But in terms of the Packers, they look great, like I expected them to. And like I said, in the next 3 years, I think they will win the Super Bowl. But for Detroit, this is one where you have to start asking the questions because it's easy to just say, oh, well, Ben wasn't there, so the offense is going to be garbage. The majority of the players are still the same. So it's about finding that cohesion, finding that rhythm, because now you have a new guy calling the plays who, he's going to do things his way. I'm sure there aren't too many things that are different about that offense outside of terminology, especially with Ben being in the division. You don't want to have the same terminology when you go up and play the Bears. But I think for Detroit, it's just more so you need to take a step back and take a deep breath and not overreact in this situation. Because you're a team who was just, in a position to battle for a Super Bowl last year. So, the last few years. So if that's the case, you still have the talent. You still have an extremely good football team. So you got to just take a step back and not overreact to this. But if you are anybody in the NFC North, it's like, yeah, we're going to have to get it together because the Packers not going nowhere for a long time, bro. youngest team in the league. Micah 27. You're gonna have to consistently bring in talent, and I'm hoping that this put every general manager on, well, especially ours. Ryan Poles, hey, you see what they're doing. You see how they're building. You know that you can't have shaky drafts. You can't, half-ass free agency. You have to go out and get it because the Packers are going to be there every single year. Kind of like you said, in the 90s and 2000s when we were kids, it was the Packers. Like, we know what it is. We know what it's going to be. So, it's going. Our division is definitely going to be a dogfight, and I think next week will tell us a lot. Even though you still have 15 more weeks, next week will tell us a lot about the trajectory of the Lions. It's when they come and play the Bears. Well, when they play the Bears at home.
When it comes to Ryan Poles, I'm like that clip of Jose Marino. He said, I don't want to get in trouble. If I speak, I'm in trouble. That's how I feel when it comes to Ryan Poles, because he definitely got a burner account somewhere. So I'm going to keep my opinions on the Bears general manager myself. But I agree. And I think with getting Micah Parsons and paying him that expensive contract, that's not a Packers thing they do. Packers don't do shit like that. So if you're a Packer fan, you're hoping this is an investment by the Packer board to, okay, if there comes to position players we want to spend money to help our young quarterback out, we're going to do that. And no matter what you think about Jordan Love is on the same accord as his head coach. Matt LaFleur is one of the best head coaches in the NFL, one of the best play callers in the NFL. He knows how to not put Jordan Love in harm's way. Now, Jordan Love has an extreme bozo gene that despite the protection that Matt LaFleur gives him, he can still put himself out there and look crazy. But look, like I said, I don't want to overreact too much, even though it is Overreaction Monday. It's one game, but they looked damn good and that's scary. We're going to get to the Bears side of that in a little while, but I want to move on to the Chargers. Let's wait for Bang to come back. We went to the Chargers. So Friday night, first of all, before we get to the actual game, me and you are definitely interested in the business side of sports. What do you think about the NFL's second Brazil game? I think this went a lot smoother than last year's endeavor.
Yeah, I think it went really well, especially with the field and the fact that you didn't have players slipping all over the place. They put a little extra time into making sure the field was good. So I think, from that standpoint, it does a great job. I love the international games. I've only been to London. I want to see if I can get out to Spain this year. But it brings a great energy because, as you know, as a newfound football fan, those crowds and the energy they bring are different. Like even when we were in the Tottenham Stadium when the Bears were playing, it was rocking the whole game.
It was rocking,
singing "Sweet Caroline" and all of that.
Oh yeah, that was a top moment.
Yeah, it's just a different energy. So I think Big Rodgers once again showing you why he is the commissioner of all commissioners. Like he has this joint on automatic, and I think for the NFL that's a beautiful thing because now it's just a matter of what other markets can we tap into because I do think NFL Europe, we will get to that eventually, but I don't think the NFL will ever be a truly, truly global game in the way that soccer is. But you can do enough to where you have these 100%. Marquee moments and marquee events. And I do think we may not like this as Americans, but don't be surprised if you get to the point where you start hosting Super Bowls on international stages.
It's 100% going to happen.
That's the next step.
The Super Bowl at Wembley or Tottenham is 100% going to happen.
Yes, they're going to have an international stage. Yeah,
and this is gonna make fans even more upset. That game was gonna be on Peacock.
yeah. And Peacock at 7 a.m. Congratulations.
Yes.
Welcome to the Super Bowl. People gonna be pissed, but no, it's happening. That's the way when you see all the streaming deals and the way the entire industry is headed that way. We're already there. Forget headed that way. You're gonna see it. So I think with Raj once again just showing people, hey, I'm the big dog. Let me show y'all how to do this, and it's gonna be amazing for the league.
Yeah, I agree. And also from a business perspective, like I get, like when I look at these things, I always look at it from a business perspective and not from a fan perspective. And fans, I know, are not thrilled about having to go to YouTube for this game, having to go to Peacock for this game. We've seen a lot of people very upset with the NBA's new format. Like it's to the point where the NBA had to put out like a schedule on their Instagram. Now, for me personally, I'm all about quality of the games. If those games are on 4K, I don't give a shit. I will watch on whatever app that I have to. And I just think that's the new era. It's like we could say like I know people say a lot of things about streamers and podcasters. What we do now, this is the new, as Draymond calls the new media. We are the new sports center. No matter how much people hate it, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? No matter people might not like the Castanats or the I Show Speeds. Those are the new TV shows. And this is just the new era of sports. You're going to have to watch a game on YouTube. And honestly, everybody got YouTube. So I don't even understand. They didn't charge for the game. As soon as I open up my YouTube app, big old ad, Chargers Chiefs. It wasn't hard to get. So from that perspective, I loved it. I love the marketing. And I think that each year, the UK fans, I don't, obviously Brazil, everywhere in Europe obviously is growing. But from the UK perspective, since we were there last year, it's growing. Like, yeah, that was a Bears home game last year, but it wasn't just all American Bears fans. It was a lot of UK Bears fans. Like, and since I'm new to European football, I've been obsessed with it for like the last 7 months. But what I've noticed is even some of their content creators are doing NFL content now because the game is growing over there as well. And I think that, like I said, it's never going to be too. I don't even think it's going to be as big as the NBA is over there, just because basketball is a global game. But it's going to be big enough that once you add that with how big it is in the NFL, they're an unstoppable behemoth right now. So from that perspective, I loved it. Go ahead.
And I think this is also why they want flag football in the Olympics, because you just spoke on it with basketball. The dream team is why basketball is big all over the world. So that's why Raj said that if NFL players want to play in the Olympics, they can. Because that just puts another spotlight on his game,
marketing, and
you can start bringing more people in. So now, I guess I agree. I don't think it'll ever be on the level of basketball, but you're gonna start to pique that interest because you've seen over the past 10 years. Yeah,
you're seeing the NFL merge even a little bit with the Premier League as far as like promoting. Like I saw when the Bears played last year at Tottenham, there was a lot of former players, not former, current Premier League players who were at the game. You know what I'm saying? Even though he obviously is a TV show, you had the Ted Lasso crew there. You know what I'm saying? Like they're there. They have, the whole inter-branding between the two where you got some of their content creators doing content with the Bears. Like I saw it was like Sky Sports did something with Tremaine Edmonds last year and they were showing them around London. So it's a good inter-promotion. Like having Neymar at a Brazil game in Brazil is top of the top. Like Neymar is like God in Brazil.
Facts.
So that's what, and to answer JG question, I don't know if they'll have a Europe league. That European division is 100% coming though. There's gonna be an international division, even the way that Roger Goodell said it like not too long ago, where the players will spend a month in these countries and just play those teams in that division. I think we're probably still about 10 years away from that, but I do believe that that's gonna come to a place where you're gonna have all of that put together, and I think it's great for the league. And I thought the YouTube stream was pretty smooth. By the way, NFL, holla at your boy. I'm down to host any of these shits. Hit the email up. Holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? He said, will Neymar's sister be at the game? Said I know this ain't got nothing to do with football, but it said, question, do you think Angel Reese is spit is right, even though she's speaking true? I think Angel Reese is gonna be on a different basketball team next year. That's what I think.
I'll take it a step further. I think the name you need to remember with Angel Reese is Liz Cambage. When you start to ruffle too many feathers in this league, this is still a league where they don't have a problem with saying, okay, you can go somewhere else.
You can go somewhere. But also I think,
and she was right though, let's be clear.
No, she was right. But I do think that even on the Liz Cambage thing, we'll get back to football in just a second. Angel's brand is 1,000 times bigger than Liz, so she can make money on the side.
Yeah, so she'll make money both ways. But when you hear that, like, teams are weary of that as well, like, having to deal with all of that, it's a lot. But the Chicago Sky, I was just texting somebody about this earlier. I was texting Shake about this, bro. We talk about every Chicago franchise being terrible, but I don't think there's a team with a track record for tearing down their players. And I'm talking about, go back to Candace Dupree, G. Like Candace Dupree, Sylvia Fowles, Gabby Williams. Any good player the Sky have had, they've run them off every time, without fail. So that's a good question.
You know how bad you gotta be to lap the White Sox and the Bulls in this city,
bro?
You gotta be.
Spoon changed Angel's career, and they fired her. They said, "Oh, you want to help our best player? You got to go. Get out of here." What?
Yeah, man, that's my prediction. I think she's gonna win another team. But the actual game with Chargers and Chiefs, the Chargers, man, like, look, it's Overreaction Monday. that was a great way to start the season for the Chargers. I'm not going to say a weight was lifted off their back in week 1, but they usually lose those games against the Chiefs. They survived all of the theatrics by the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense did not look the same after Xavier Worthy left that game. But this is something where I look at it more for the Chargers more than the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to be fine. The Chiefs' question mark is, are they going to win the Super Bowl? That's the only thing right now. Like, I'm not worried about Chiefs regular season whatsoever. If you're a Chief hater, I know that was a great hate watch for you to start it off. But I really saw a lot difference in this offense from the Chargers. I love the play calling. If you're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, you cannot have pussy play calling. And they went for it. They went for the game. They went for it on 4th down. They were aggressive. And that's why I loved what I saw last year. And I know a lot of people out there was like, oh, Keenan Allen looks good. Let's stop acting like Keenan Allen was bad last year with the Bears. He was not. In fact, he was their leading receiver. He had, 10 touchdowns. Keenan Allen looks great. with the Bears last year. The reason he's not a Bear is because he's older, and they drafted Luther Burden III, and they also want to give Rome more targets. If there's anybody's who's probably looking over their shoulder, it's DJ Moore. We'll get into that later. I'm not ready to open that bag of worms right now, but that's what it was signaling to me. But I like what I saw from the Chargers. Still got to go through the full season, but punching the Chiefs in the mouth to start the year, I thought that was pretty good. Dante, what did you see from this game?
Yeah, like I said, G Herbo, that's my guy. I think he's an elite quarterback. He finally has an elite coach. One thing about Harbaugh, he's won everywhere he's gone. We've always seen the success. We talk about culture a lot in sports and how like people have to put their personality upon their team. This is somebody who a part of his personality is winning. Say what you want about the man. He wins. That's what he does. And I think this is a situation where a lot of the, like I said earlier, the issues that they had when Staley was the head coach and just poor decisions that put that team in bad places and caused them to lose games. Harbaugh's not going to do that. And so I think this is a good group. I would like to see them call Miami about Tyreek Hill. That's just me personally. I think that's somebody, I know people are trying to put that reunion with Kansas City together. But if I'm the Chargers, I make that call and see what's up. Because getting an elite wide receiver on that team with Herbo, I think that would help them a lot. Khalil Mack, you are a few snaps away from Family Man records, but we always gonna have love for you.
Few snaps away from joining us on the podcast.
But for that offense, I think now is the time you try to go out there and get you an elite wide receiver to add to Herbo. But as good as he is, if they can continue to draft well, then you don't have to worry about that. But for right now, if you want to make a splash, and kind of like with baseball or in other sports, when you talk about keeping a player away from a division rival, if you want to make sure Pat don't get Tyreek back, you go make that call to Miami and see what you can do. But I like what I see from the Chargers. No season ticket bias. This is just watching them play. I think this is a team that's going to compete all year. We may have been a little too soon on the Raiders, so I don't think they're going to year one and really compete. So this is a division that'll be between the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think even though it was a nice win yesterday for the Raiders, I'm not buying what they're selling yet. And then also, y'all know how I feel about anything that's involved Sean Payton. But we're gonna move on to the local. I don't have a graphic because, like I said, this is an early show, and I was sleepy last night. I didn't get a graphic done. That's my fault. Bang is still preoccupied right now, so I'll sing the song. It's the local hour. There we go. See, I got a little vocals on y'all. But anyway, we got some news finally on the Bears Stadium. So this is from the Chicago Tribune. Shout out to Mikey for, Mikey is our silent producer on the show. So shout out to Mikey. But this comes from the Tribune. The Tribune says that the Bears plan to release a plan. Thank you. Yeah, the vocals is good. See, Bang, I'm already replacing you on the vocals. I'm on my head. But yes.
Local hour.
But this comes from the Tribune. The Tribune says the Bears are meeting with Arms and Heights and everybody out there on that committee or whatever in October, and their plan is to release a step-by-step plan for the stadium in October that will involve breaking ground in spring of 2026, and they should be ready to open the stadium on the 2030 home opener, which is about 5 years from now, which will really be about a 4.5 year building process if they actually do put shovels in the ground in the spring, which is the usual. I know some people's like, that's forever, but that's the usual time to build a stadium. It's usually about 4 to 5 years. I know SoFi took 5 years to build. I think they announced the Rams are coming back to LA in Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, because you were in St. Louis. I think it was like early 2015 that they announced it officially. Yeah, and then SoFi was done around August 2020, even though nobody got into the building until 2021 because of COVID. And also the Bears, here's big news here. The Bears plan to fully finance the stadium themselves. It's almost like billionaires should do what billionaires should do. For me, this is good news. I still kind of don't care yet until the actual shovels are in the ground, until we see pictures of Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, Caleb Williams, George McCaskey with the construction hats on, doing the thumbs up. Until I see that picture, I don't really care that much, but I think this is good news, especially the financing part, because that was a holdup. So, yeah, I think this would be great. Once I got through the initial, oh man, the Bears should be in Chicago thing. I think this is a need. We had multiple weather stops this week in the NFL, which was, come on, man. That's kind of like everybody needs a dome. So I'm with it. And I'm with it with this. They said it's going to be a retractable roof. They're trying to do something like how, not a retractable roof, but the roof's going to be kind of built like SoFi, where it's not really roof, but translucent at the same time. Yeah, translucent. There you go. It's going to be something like that, which I think is perfect. So hopefully this is the timeline that sticks. I do think that the state is going to try to stick them for as much money as possible, because they don't want them to leave the city of Chicago. But I think this is good news on that for a bank. Do you have any take on this new stadium news at all?
At this point, let's just go ahead and get this out the way. Like, what is holding us up? Go ahead and have the conversations, and let's go ahead and get this started. Like, that's where I'm at right now. We gonna open up in 2030. I bet we got something.
Yeah, and real quick before we move on, Roger Goodell, I know you don't need many ideas. You're a man of many, and you do it well. But I got one for you. A league-owned stadium fund. Because right now that is the trend that is going, where you're seeing more teams where they're paying for the league themselves, they're paying for stadiums themselves. If you have a team that needs a stadium, that team, that owner should be able to come to those other owners and say, hey, we're in business together. Let me get a loan and I'm gonna pay you back. Like, whether you do revenue sharing or whatever. This is a $1 billion league. All your teams are in the green. Everybody's making a lot of profit. The league has enough bread to where they can help these teams. If you really want to get new stadiums in certain cities, you can help these teams without putting the burden on taxpayers. Because, and don't get me wrong, we've seen a few cities where they've paid off these stadiums early. Minnesota did it, and another one just did it recently. But at the end of the day, given the way our economy is, and like, let's be clear, the stock market and the economy are not the same thing. Like, a very small portion of people actually own stocks. So when the stock market is booming, that has nothing to do with the overall economy. Cities, states, they cannot afford to pay for these stadiums. You all are rich as fuck. So we're at a point where it's like, all right, let's put this fund together. So I love what the Bears are doing. I think it's going to be great. We hate to see them leave, but given travel time, parking, walking 3 miles to the stadium, you're going to spend about the same amount of time. So just go ahead, hop on that MARTA. MARTA's in Atlanta. Hop on that Metro, head over to Arlington, enjoy the game. If you don't want to come back, commute back and get you a room out there. But it's one of those things where it's just a matter of they need to own it for revenue purposes, which will help the team be better. So I'm all for it. Let's get it over. Unless the city was going to rebuild Lakeshore, we were never going to stay on the lake. That's just the reality of it. So here we are.
Yeah, I agree. And I think less people be complaining when we get other stuff like WrestleManias, the Final Fours, the national championship games. Like, there's so many other things that can come to Chicago for that. And let's be real. I saw a lot of people complaining, but it's going to be more expensive. Let's be real. I don't know if y'all saw the tickets for tonight's Monday night game, but if you can't afford, y'all motherfuckers can't afford the price of Soldier Field. All right, so that's the NFL in a nutshell. It costs $400 just a look at an NFL stadium nowadays. But let's have like a vibe check, man. Monday Night Football tonight at Soldier Field. I will be holding it down with my brother Flows from Soldier Field. Monday Night Football. This is the Bears' first home Monday Night Football game in 4 seasons since 2021, against the same Vikings. I heard that was obviously an uneventful game because I do not remember it. I thought this was the first home Monday Night Football game since 2018, but I was mistaken as I was corrected by that. But this would be my first Monday Night Football home game. I've done a couple Monday Night Football games already, but they've been on the road. This is my first home game, so we'll be holding it down. I might do some pre-game content from the press box. Not sure yet, but yeah. And if you're looking for 79th and Hallis, so we're gonna do like a longer version of our on-field video today because we're gonna be getting in so late. There's not gonna be a full-length pod. I might do a live stream tomorrow. Do not quote me on that. Do not quote me on that because I'm not expecting to get into the house till 2 a.m. tonight with all the stuff we have to do after the game. So, but worst case scenario, there will be a 15 to 20 minute recap video up on all our YouTube feeds and our Twitter feed to recap last night's game. And of course, me and Mikey will probably talk about it a little bit on Thursday when we do our preview podcast for week 2. So, but yeah, bang, man. Well, what's the vibe check, not just for tonight, but especially coming off last night's Lions-Packers game? What's your vibe check right now?
So 2 things. I'm gonna go ahead and give up everything because I got to be a suit in 2 minutes now. But vibe check, I'm feeling good. Like no, I am feeling good. I am feeling confident, cautiously. Like I just got off of a meeting and everybody knew what I was gonna be having on. They know I was gonna be like bear down when I start, and after I've ended my thoughts. So I feel good. Like everybody's talking about the game tonight. Everybody's talking about Brian Flores' defense, but Caleb actually performed had a good game. When shit was going down, when Thomas Brown was the head coach and there was a lot of turmoil. He had a 300-yard game in that overtime game. Overtime didn't go the way we went, but he's had some type of at least this, statistical success when it comes to Brian Flores' defense versus him and Ben. Plus, Ben Johnson has not lost to him as an OC, so we'll see what happens there. As far as the season goes, as I said last week, I feel like we are in improvement stage. I don't know if we're going to be there quite yet, but I feel like that at the end of this year, we're going to feel like we have the right coach and we have the right organization in place in order for this to grow. And just last but not least, I'm just happy that these games are starting. Even though the Chef Wickersham book comes out tomorrow, and we definitely need a win because then when that comes out tomorrow, explosive quotes and all of that stuff.
Yeah, you can't lose to the Vikings with the stuff that's in that book. Yeah, you can't lose.
Yeah, but I'm excited to hear the game start, and I think that the Bears is gonna win 27-10. I do think that the Bears look. If we're looking at the QBs, Jaden Daniels looked good yesterday, in his first game of the year. Drake May did not. Michael Penix Jr. looked good yesterday. Bo Nix did not look. So I'm erring on the side of Caleb
Justin
Williams
looked
look good tonight.
That was a couple years ago.
I'm going to err on the side of that. So I got the Bears winning tonight.
All right, Ben, we going to let you be Tom Wamsgans. We will holler at you on Friday, brother.
Peace out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, my feeling right now, this is the first, I was telling my homie Kev the other day, shout out my boy Kev, and we was in a group chat, me, Kev, my homie Lotto, and we were just talking about how we feel about the season. I was like, this is the first Bears season I can remember where I don't really feel anything. I haven't really thought too much about it. And this is kind of like why, I obviously becoming a member of the media has changed my fandom because I know how the food is made. I see these players all the time. I see the work ethic that they have. I know the people who work for the team. So like you when you're a fan, you look at it a lot differently. When you see behind the curtain and you're around the people who, make the food, stir the drink, you look at it a lot different. And obviously I can't show my emotions in the press box. So I fan a little differently when it comes to the Bears. But the reason I'm kind of like, I don't know what to expect because it's kind of like what we said almost 2 weeks ago when we did our preview episode. Anything can happen this year. If this team went out there and won 7 games, would not surprise me. If this team went out there and won 12, 13 games, won a division, won a playoff game, would not surprise me. I really feel like it can go either way. The only expectation I have is I feel like if this team is relatively healthy, this team should at least win 8 games. That's just my personal expectation. But I don't know because I have a lot of question marks about tonight. There's some injury concerns I have. I'm concerned about the TJ Edwards. That's the one I'm most concerned about. Not really worried about Jalen. Jalen's going to play. Even with him on the snap count, having Jalen on the snap count is better than having no Jalen at all. Not too worried about Kyler either. I do believe Kyler's going to play. And even if he doesn't, I think the strength of this defense is clearly the secondary. Not only from the starting position, I think the secondary has depth. So I'm not worried about the secondary. I'm worried about the linebacker core. Look, I cover the team. I have no idea who is TJ Edwards' backup. like I don't have the slightest idea who's TJ Edwards' backup. And that's telling you something. So I'm worried about that. I think it's going to be a big Aaron Jones game. I think both teams are going to run the football. But coming off last night's game, I was like, oh, this is 30 times bigger must win it is. And the reason I say that is I smell blood in the water with the Detroit Lions. Not to say that we're going to for sure beat them. Look, we go to Detroit this weekend and get smacked. It wouldn't surprise me. But if you're the Bears, and Ben Johnson, one thing I know from being around this man for 7-8 months, he's a psycho. He's not all the way got it right up here. And even the way he responded when Kay Adams said, oh, well, Jameer and Amon-Ra said that you were running the same place. He ain't like that shit. So I know even in his head, he's thinking, yo, if I can just get past this Vikings thing, we got a chance to go 2-0, stay on par with the Vikings, and we can go to the Ford Field and beat my former team. And I'll show not only the team and the guys who I used to be in the trenches with, but show that fan base who are very ungrateful for the things that I helped them accomplish, that I'm that dude. And I think that's why I'm like, okay, it's week 1. Don't want to put too much on it, but I always said if this team is going to win 8 or 9 games, it is imperative that at the worst you start these first 4 games 2-2. So I feel like they got to win tonight, and I do feel they win tonight. I get Banks at 27-10. I think it's going to be a lot more closer than that. I think it's going to be 20-17. I think it's going to be a field goal difference. But I expect Caleb to have a solid game. And when they asked Ben on Saturday, what is the game plan? Not the game plan, but what do you expect from the quarterback? And he was like, win the game. That told me they finna run the football. And then he said, oh, I have a lot of trust in Cal Monunga. And the reason that stood out to me, because he said, oh, I don't really trust the rookies yet. So that's what stood out to me. But Dante, I know you're lower on the Bears than most of us, but what's your vibe going into this game? And even especially after watching how last night's NFC North game went?
I mean, in my picks I had, and it's sitting right in front of me, I got them going 3-1 in their first 4 games. So I have them winning tonight as well. But as far as the vibes, it's more so wait and see. I think that's what I've been saying the last 3 years with the Bears. I really just have a wait and see approach. I'm excited about Ben Johnson. I think this may be the first time. Well, not may. This will be the first time in since Dick Geron where we had a coordinator, a head coach who could scheme guys open. Like that was the last time the Bears were really just stored. Like that team, when you look back at it, was actually probably the most fun Bears team that I watched outside of the defense being god awful. Offensively, that was the top of the top for us. And I think with Ben coming in the building, trying to make sure Caleb is comfortable. Like he said, he threw a lot at him, and he's going to scale it back as we go into the season to kick it off. But I'm going to go 27-17 Bears because I think, we do score 3 touchdowns, kick 2 field goals, but I think JJ is going to give us the ball at least once. And I've been talking to people about that all week. As a Michigan fan, I'm not saying JJ's not good or he won't be good, but I think there was so much he didn't have to do, and that we're sitting here simply banking on the fact that he has the talent to do it. I like to, pick people. I've seen you do it, like at least seen some type of flashes of it. And with JJ, he would make a few throws, but it was never anything crazy. And then with Rossini and everything she was saying about him struggling during camp, and Rossini has been on point. That's one person, like when it comes to NFL reporting, we really have to tip our cap to because she's been on it all summer.
Her and Chase Daniel, I like everything they're doing.
Yeah, they've been on point. So I would say 27-17 Bears tonight. They do get off on a good foot, and Ben has had success against Brian Flores, and so has Caleb. So I mean, we lost last year in overtime, but Caleb threw for like 340 or something like that.
Yeah,
Two touchdowns.
two solid,
Yeah.
outputs against Minnesota.
And I think it's because with Flores, they know they're going to blitz, and so with Caleb, it forces him to react quick. You just react, just go. And so I think Ben is going to do a lot of that today. I'm gonna say 2017 Bears. Shout out to the rookie Loveland. I think he's going to be a problem. I think that's something. I think he's going to be very George Kittle-like in this offense, or Sam Laporta, just to the Ben Johnson reference. But I think we're going to do really good tonight. It's going to be a good game. But also, it's one of those things where, like, I'm with you. This season, just as a whole, I don't have too many expectations. Like, I expect Ben, I expect him to do his job, but everybody else, I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to say no words about Ben. Like, I think obviously the adjustments that a head coach has to make, timeout management, little shit like that is something he still got to prove. But this is the first time we've had an actual play caller. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody who I know he's going to call the right thing. He's not going to make the game easy. He's not going to make the game hard for Caleb. And I forgot who tweeted this yesterday, but look at how the Ravens run offense. Lamar doesn't have to chuck it all the time because he has such a great – Todd Monken makes the game easy for him. They run the football. Tonight is going to be all about the running the football on both sides. You talk about J.J. McCarthy. Like I said, the only not leash, but I guess like credit I'm giving JJ is he has a great head coach. I'm a big Kevin O'Connell fan. And, he made Sam Darnold look like something we ain't seen before. And then Sam Darnold went back to playing like Sam Darnold at the end of last season and last night. So by that, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But this is a very tough situation for a rookie. You're on the road, division rival, Soldier Field. It's going to be a packed atmosphere in there. I always get nervous when it's like a great atmosphere because the Bears usually shit the bed when it's a great atmosphere.
Oh, every time.
Every time. Like, I remember 2 years ago, the first game of the Jordan Love era, and I was, oh, man, the vibe was nice. It was about 80 degrees outside. It was rocking. I expected to be rocking today. Mikey already sent pictures in the group chat about, people already, tailgating. The CTA buses got Go Bears on them. Everybody in the city is ready for this game. Hopefully, I'm hoping that 5 years from now, when the new stadium's opening, I can be like, yo, man, that was the beginning of a special run. You know what I'm saying? That's what I hope to look at. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I want to be very clear on that. I'm not saying I don't know. But, it's going to be a great crowd. It's alumni night. A lot of the great Bears are going to be in the building. Not only is it alumni night, they're celebrating the 40th anniversary of the 85 Bears team.
Oh my God, we losing. We never know. I didn't know that. I didn't know they were doing that. I did not know they were doing that.
Look. But look, I'm with you. Usually they lose when they do that.
Every time they wheel them out, we lose, bro. Every time. The only thing would have been worse is they was wearing the orange jerseys. That just pissed me off. Wow.
Yeah, look, it's the 40th anniversary of the 85 Bears. I was like, oh shit, we gonna lose too. Well, shout out our guy JP, Jared Payton, him and his family, his lovely mother and sister will be
always.
will be the honorary captains of the team today. So I don't know what 85 Bears is gonna be. I'm guessing it'll be Singletary. I don't know if that McMahon will come out, but yeah, it's kind of like I feel like even not just with Bears, but a lot of times you bring the legends out. No matter what team it is, the home team usually loses.
You set yourself up for failure.
I think the Cowboys lost the night they put Jimmy Jones in the Ring of Honor. I might be off, but I think they did. So, but yeah, anyway, my point is it's going to be a good atmosphere. And if Minnesota can run the ball really well, that opens things for JJ. You know what I'm saying? If you shut that run down and make J.J. McCarthy beat you, then you put yourself in a good position. So did y'all see Rome not knowing who Singletary? I'm going to shoot Rome some bail.
Yeah.
The reason I'm going to shoot Rome some bail, Singletary was dominating before I was born. And I'm about 14 years older than Rome. So I'm going to shoot Rome some bail. I'm going to shoot Rome. 85 Bears was 4 years before I was born. All right, so I'm going to shoot Rome some bail on that one. And you knew who Urlacher and Forte was, and that's even still a little bit older than him. But yeah, and what I expect from Caleb today is just what I want to see from Caleb. What I'm going to be looking at all season is two things: avoiding sacks and getting the ball out quick. Those are the two things I'm going to be looking for with Caleb. Because, yes, 68 sacks, bad offensive line, half of them shits was on Caleb. And at least 30 were on Caleb. So those are two things we're going to be looking at. I think it's going to be a very simple game. I think DeAndre Swift, who I believe had an underrated year last year because he had shit offensive line and had coaches that didn't know what to do with him. This is a guy who had the chip on the shoulder. Swift, he been in his Philly bag this offseason. He been pissed. He wants to go out there and show people what he's capable of. He's got a coordinator in Ben who knows how to use him from his time in Detroit. And I expect a lot of Cal Monungai. I'm with you, Dante. I think Colston Loveland has a big game. Here's I want to say hot take, but my bold prediction. Luther Burden makes a really big catch tonight. I feel Luther Burden. I don't think Luther's going to get as many opportunities. There's a lot of Bears fans who want him to get this season, but that's a good thing because I think that Rome's going to be great, and I think that Alameda Zacchaeus is going to be Caleb's safety blanket. I expect to see a lot of him, and in the running game, like I was talking about, you're going to see a lot of DJ Moore tonight. That's my prediction. So I think that Caleb just got to make the passes, make the short passes to open up the big passes, and be accurate on your deep ball. I feel like they're going to need some chances. They're going to give him some chances. Harrison Smith's not playing today. That's a big loss for the Vikings. Even on the offensive tip, Jordan Addison is not playing today. That's a big blow for them. We all know Jettas is gonna do what he do. I don't care that he ain't played a snap all preseason. He one of them guys. He don't best in the league. He don't need a preseason. He gonna do what he gonna do. And whoever guarding him is gonna have their hands full. But I feel the Bears are gonna, like I said, Derby Girl. I'm gonna say the record again. I'm gonna shout out to you. My record. I got 9-8, and I think they barely missed the playoffs. I think they finished third in the division. I think Green Bay. I don't want to say Green Bay gonna win yet, even though my Green Bay pick was before they got Micah. I'm still gonna say Detroit will find a way to division, but it wouldn't shock me if Green Bay does. But either way, whether it's Green Bay or Detroit, I got the Bears finishing third, 9-8. So, Dante, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Like you said, man, I just need Caleb to do the small things. Really do the small things, man. We saw that the report that got a lot of controversy this week about his preparation and him actually being nervous and things like that. Let's put all that to the side. This is week one. It's time to get off on the right foot. I know I had the Bears going 6-11 this year, 7-10 at best, but I do think they start out 3-1. And tonight will really set the tone for the season. And I think when you have a new head coach, that's big. You want to set the tone. So set the tone, go out against a team you played well against. You didn't get the dub because of small things. Change those small things. I think it'll be a good night tonight.
I agree, man. So like I said, on the 79th and Hallis tip, me and my brother Flows will be covering the game tonight. So I should be at Soldier Field around 5:30-ish. So I might do a pre-game video from the press box. I think I'm going to start doing those this season. Can't guarantee that I'll do a live stream tomorrow because I don't know how late I'm going to be getting in tonight, but there will be at least a 15 to 20 minute on-field recap video that'll be dropping tomorrow morning. We'll be recapping the game as well. And, of course, we have our preview pods on Thursdays on the Patreon, me and Mikey. And so speaking of Patreon, subscribe to the Patreon. If you are watching this on a smart TV or whatever, or iPad, take your phone up to the QR code, scan it. It will take you to all of the different tiers. We got Summer Sessions tier, which I know we ain't done a Summer Sessions in about 2 months. I am trying to get that done this week. We're trying to find a consistent recording day. We've all been busy. Me, Bang, Pav ain't even been in the country. Merc been doing Gap commercials, which we'll talk to him about. He think I ain't see him. But we're going to figure that schedule out. But for the 79th and Hallis preview pods, subscribe to the $5 79th and Hallis tier, or the $10 all access tier where you get everything on there. But I'm not going to hold you. If you want all of the I'm not going to hold you clips and the local hours separately, subscribe to that as well. And while you're at it, if you're not watching this on my YouTube channel and you're watching this on the Barber's Chair HMB Media, which you appreciate that too, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got a lot of solo content on there, so check that out as well. Same thing, scan the QR code or link in the description box. Dante, are we getting another edition of High and Outside? We're getting close to the playoffs.
Yes. We're getting a new episode of High and Outside this Wednesday. We like I said, schedule changed, so we were able to get it recorded earlier just to make sure we get it out on Fridays. And then we will be back to once a week during the playoffs. So it's gonna be a lot of good baseball coming down the stretch. It's about 20. Most teams have around 19 to 21 games left. So we're going to see what happens when they close it out. We're going to be with y'all every week, though.
Definitely, man. And for the footy fans, me and Tosin, of course, every Friday on I'm Not Gonna Hold You Soccer for Dummies. The international break is almost over. Hopefully my Arsenal players get through the next 2 days with no injuries, because we've been getting some bullshit injuries. But me and Tosin will be previewing match week 3 on Friday as well. A lot of big matches this week. So the Manchester Derby is going to be cracking. I even think the Merseyside Derby is this week too, and Alexander Isak making his debut against Everton. Don't quote me on that, but I think that game is this weekend too. Arsenal plays Forest at the crib, so we'll get into all that on Friday as well. So check that out. Follow Dante at OctoberZone on all social media. Follow me at BarbChair Scott. Follow I'm Not Gonna Hold You at INGHY Show. Follow the Barber's Chair at Barber's Chair Co. and HB Media at HB Media TV on Twitter, at HB Media on Instagram. Man, I enjoyed the morning edition. I'm gonna convene with the team in the group chat. We'll see if we make this a regular thing. We appreciate all y'all for tuning in. We will holler at y'all on Friday evening. We up out of here.